special day. Can we confirm you can all see my screen? All right, fantastic. Kids in the house, are you excited to be here? You can unmute now and say hello, everybody. I want to hear your voice. Let me hear the loud hello from everybody.
Hello.
Yay!
Hello.
That's awesome. I'm hearing all the vibrant, energetic voice, and today is going to be a fantastic day. So let's get to it. So you're all welcome. Happy Children's Day celebration. We hope you had a good time celebrating with your.
Thank you.
Welcome. We hope you had a good time celebrating with your family, with your friends, in your school, with your classmates, with all the children all over the world. So we are happy that the whole month of May, we dedicated to the kids, and we're happy that you guys have taken over today. And we are looking forward to more situations like this where we give kids the opportunity to take over and give their own perspective. So welcome everybody. We'll keep this meeting within an hour as usual. And the agenda for this meeting is...
The first case on our program this morning will be Israel Oyeniyi and Olabode Soyetan from the Trinity School, and they will be presenting housekeeping and environmental cleanliness. Let's listen to these beautiful kids.
Very good question, Israel, you asked, because we will be telling our viewers the importance, the benefits, and a quiz on housekeeping and environmental cleanliness. And before we move on, I would just like to say that the quiz is only for the children. And Israel, do you mind defining what housekeeping is to our fellow viewers?
Of course, Bode. Housekeeping is the process of keeping our workspace, homes, classrooms, or churches tidy before, during, and after work. It entails
that was very true, Israel. That was very good, Israel. And before we move on to what it entails, I would just like to say that when they told me what you doing this presentation with me, I know our viewers have a lot to learn, not from only me, but from also you. Now, let's move on to what it entails.
It entails cleaning, sweeping, and identifying all items in their wrong places and placing them where they are supposed to be.
Yeah, that was really true, Israel. That was really true. Now, housekeeping is very important all over the world. So I would like to say the importance. It helps minimize slips, trips, and falls. It helps management cut costs, and it also makes work easier.
We can also say that it prevents lost time injury if the accident should occur, and it allows for easy identification and location of certain materials.
Yeah, that is true, Israel. Now, housekeeping can have some benefits. I'm sure you, dear viewers, are wondering, like, what are the benefits of housekeeping? It decreases risks of slip, trips, and falls. It improves morale, and it also improves productivity.
You can also say that it lowers personnel's exposure to hazardous products, it aids better control of tools and materials, and it aids more efficient equipment cleanup and maintenance.
Now, that was true, Israel. Now, let's go to the quiz question, and the quiz question is only for the children, and the first person to keep the answer on the Zoom chat is what we are waiting for. Israel, do you mind asking?
In the process of housekeeping, which one is not involved?
A,
arranging.
B,
walking.
C,
cleaning.
And the last D,
identifying.
And we just have some few things to say. If you want to be safe,
keep it tidy.
Always. And Israel, I just want to put in one last thing. Housekeeping can and will improve productivity, save costs, and it also helps decreases injuries. And for listening to us. Hope you gained some knowledge from these viewers. Like they say, you're never too old to learn. And thanks for listening to our little presentation. And back to you, Auntie Deborah.
Wow, thank you so much, Master Israel Oyeni and Master Olabode Soiton. You guys did amazingly well. I learned so much on housekeeping, and I'm already carrying my broom and my mop now, cleaning my house because I want to be in line and be 100% compliant based on what you've said. So, kids in the house, I hope you've answered the questions. Let's see your answers coming in. Remember, this quiz competition is just for the kids, so adults stay away from our chat section during the questions. So, our HSE topic for the second HSE topic is recycling and tree planting. And we have Perekumi and Sharon, who will be giving
Hello,
us
everyone.
topic. And they're representing their school, Total Child School. Perekumi and Sharon, are you ready for us?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Yes, I believe the kids are ready. Firekumi Bitoye and Sharon Ogun Shikpe are both ready from Total Child School. And they'll be talking about recycling and tree planting. Let's listen to them.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Firkumi Bitoye from Total Child School, and I'm here with
Recycling and tree planting. Recommend you mind telling us about what recycling is?
Of course, Sharon. Recycling is the process of converting waste materials into new materials and objects. Recycling is a key component of modern waste reduction and is the third component of the reduce, reuse, and recycle waste hierarchy.
Waste hierarchy is a component of medicine used for reducing waste. Recycling aims at environmental sustainability by substituting raw material inputs and directing waste output out of the economic system.
Wow, Sharon, that is beautiful. So what then are the examples of recyclable materials?
Recyclable materials include many kinds of glass, paper, cardboard, metal, plastic, tires, batteries, and electronics. Can you tell us more on recyclable materials?
The composting or other reuse of biodegradable waste, such as food or garden waste, is also a form of recycling. Materials to be recycled are either delivered to a household recycling center or picked up from the curbside bins, then sorted, cleaned, and reprocessed into new materials destined for manufacturing new products. What then are the benefits of recycling? I will say some, while Sharon will say the rest. The reason why recycling is so important is that it prevents pollution, reduces the need to harvest new raw materials, saves energy, and reduces greenhouse gas emissions. Sharon, would you like to tell our viewers the rest?
Okay, it saves money, reduces the need to harvest new raw materials, conserves natural resources such as timber, water, and minerals, and it allows products to be used to their fullest extent.
This takes us to our next topic, tree planting. Sharon, would you like to tell our viewers what tree planting is all about?
Definitely, I will with pleasure. Tree planting is the process of transplanting tree seedlings, generally for forestry, land reclamation, or landscaping purpose.
So what is the purpose of tree planting? Trees improve air quality by producing oxygen. They also store carbon, offsetting harmful byproducts of fossil fuel burning. They moderate the effects of sun and wind, and they clean the air by trapping dust, pollen, and other pollutants. Planted in the right places across buildings, trees can significantly reduce air conditioning costs. This means less freon, an inflammable and odorless chemical emitted from air conditioners. It is considered to have damaging effects to the ozone layer. Trees increase property value. Sharon, can you help with the rest?
Okay. Trees generate jobs and contribute new raw materials for buildings, newspapers, books, etc. They are renewable, biodegradable, and recyclable. Trees provide shelter, food and shelter for wildlife, such as birds, squirrels, and bugs. Trees make people feel good. Workers are more productive when they see trees along their commute routes and office windows. Trees, trees that in, trees that include landscape that include trees help relax us, lower heart rate, and reduce fever. Come to the end of our chat with everyone.
Do you mind asking the quiz question, Sharon? Remember, it is only for the children.
Thank you, Frekumi. The quiz question is, which of the following is not a benefit of recycling? A, saves money. B, reduces the need to harvest newer materials. C, reduces greenhouse gas emission. E, encourages laziness. Remember, the fastest to provide the answer on the Zoom chat app will be rewarded. Back to you, Auntie Deborah. Bye.
That was nice. That was really, really nice. It was very, very educative. And we all learned something new today. So without further ado, we want to welcome the fourth person for the day. And by the time we run through everything, we'll go back to Israel and Co so that they can try and complete their own presentation. So Ms. Kimberly is going to be talking about conserving energy and waste management. Ms. Kimberly, are you ready for us?
Yes.
All right, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Okay. This is good afternoon. Sorry, good morning, everybody. My name is Kimberly Ikenebume, and I'm here to talk about conserving energy and waste management. There's a quiz here, and remember, the quiz is only for children. So let's start with conserving energy. What is conserving energy? Conserving energy is the effort made to reduce the usage of energy sources. It works as a part of the eco-sufficiency. There are 6 forms of energy: sound energy, chemical energy, radiant energy, electrical energy, atomic energy, and mechanical energy. Sound energy is a vibration or sound that goes through a substance to be heard by living things such as humans. For example, when somebody plays a note through an instrument, the sound bounces and vibrates to be heard. Chemical energy is the energy stored in a chemical substance. So when released, it changes its form. Things that contain such kind of energy is like coal or biomass, etc. Radiant energy is one of the natural energy sources. It comes from the sun to help bring heat and sunlight. It contains electromagnetic fields, which releases a lot of light and heat. Electrical energy is a form of energy stored in most of the appliances and machines we use for our daily activities. Atomic energy, it is the energy that is carried out by atoms, like nuclear power. As we know, atoms are very, very small, and even a powerful microscope will not be able to see them. Mechanical energy is the energy that is possessed by an object due to its motion. It can be kinetic or potential. For example, when somebody is fling an arrow, that is potential energy. When it lets go and the arrow is in motion, that is kinetic. There are okay. There are some ways that we can save our energy to prevent it from being wasted. We should turn off unnecessary lights. Please turn off your fans when they are not in use. Please always be aware of your battery because it is an indicator of how much energy a mobile has. Parents and adults, your car needs to keep its energy because they can either be electric or alternative fuel. Unplug cables and sockets. For plugging too many of them would higher an electricity bill. Another thing is that it can be very dangerous. The sockets might overheat. Please watch out for energy vampires, for they take energy around them. It is best that you should not have that many in your homes. Waste management is the next topic. Waste management is when we keep the environment clean by reducing the amount of waste in our surroundings. This helps not just the ecosystem, it also helps our community, our nation, and the whole earth. There are ways to sustain a happy, healthy environment by using these 3 Rs. There are more, but the 3 Rs are the most common that we know. They are reuse, reduce, and recycle. The explanation of the 3 Rs. Reuse. When you use an old item again, when it is still in a good condition, is known as reusing. It helps to make sure you do not waste the item. For example, if there is a bottle full of water and it is empty, you can still use that bottle again because it is in good condition. Reduce. This simply means to keep a specific item from running low or from being wasted. If we do not use this method, the certain material will not be there for use. For example, let us take water. We can reduce the amount of water that is coming from the tap so that it can be still there if we want to use it for like watering the plants, washing our clothes, for personal hygiene and other things. In recycling, it is the most known method. We use this in converting old materials into new without wasting money. It is the best way to remove waste from the environment. Did you know that the first recycling, starting with paper, was in 1960? That was 61 years ago. Some people say the first recycling was in Japan in 1031. That was 990 years ago. Plastic. 1970, metal 1776, glass 1977, and wood 1990 came after paper recycling. Questions. In waste management, what are the 3 R's? A, rent, road, repeat. B, rain, rain, rain. C, reuse, reduce, recycle. D, none of the above.
Finally, last but not least, we have our amiable Miss Olufoye. This name should ring a bell for everybody here because she has been winning a lot of our LiHSEIF awards.
Good morning, Dad, Maz, and my fellow students. My name is Paige Joseph from Fountain Heights Secondary School. I feel honored to be given the privilege to present this topic in the midst of high qualified adults. Thank you, LiHSEIF, for this privilege. Today, I'd like to be talking about food safety. What is food safety? Food safety refers to the conditions and practices that preserve the quality of food to prevent contamination and food-borne illnesses. Food safety includes quality and safety through the whole food chain, from farm to factory to fork. Food products may encounter any number of health hazards during their journey through the supply chain. The quality of food not to cause harm to the consumer is of great concern. This is because food products are the most traded commodities in the world. As the world becomes more global, each year, food products will continue to be transported from one part of the world to another, or from one part of the country to another. To achieve the standards needed, the HACCP system is introduced to all food handlers. What is HACCP system? HACCP stands for Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point. It is an internationally recognized method of identifying and managing food safety related. It can also be referred to as a systematic approach to identify, evaluate, and control foods that are caused by biological, chemical, or physical agents and may cause illness if not controlled. But when HACCP is central and active food safety program, it can provide your customers, the public, and regulatory agencies assurance that the food safety program is well managed. The hazard analysis critical control point is set up to identify hazards and to establish ways to prevent, reduce, or eventually eliminate it. Hazards, as we know, is anything that can cause damage, harm, or adversely effect on something and someone. To provide safe food for their principles of safety, this brings me to 7 principles of HACCP for food safety. 1. Carry out a hazard analysis point. This principle involves highlighting all the steps in the process and identify where the hazards are likely to happen. 2. Recognize the critical control point called the CCP. A critical control point, CCP, is a point at which control can be applied and the food safety hazards can be avoided or solved. 3. Establish or point out the critical limit, called CL. The critical limit involves the time, temperature, water weight, or some other measure that is based on regulatory standards. 4. Monitoring, which involves the measurement to monitor. 5. Remedial action, fishing out the problems and making sure it does not happen again. 6. Verification. This process helps to make sure that all necessary processes are done according to plan. 7. Proper documentation. This process helps keep proper records to prove that the food was produced safely. The main benefits of HACCP-based procedures save your business money in the long run, avoid you poisoning your customers, food safety standards increase, ensures you are compliant with the law, food safety standards increase, organizes your process to produce safely. So starting these 7 principles, in my own word, I call it cream mark.B. C stands for carry out hazard analysis, R stands for recognize the critical control point, E stands for establish critical limits, M stands for monitoring, A stands for action point, P stands for proper documentation, V stands for verification. We need to watch out for 4 major types of hazards. A. Microbiological hazards, which include bacteria, yeast, molds, and viruses. B. Chemical hazards, which include water, food contact materials, cleaning agents, pest control substances, contaminants, pesticides, biocides, and food additives. C. Physical hazards, which include glass, packaging, drawers, pest droppings, fluids, etc. D. Allergens. This refers to the risk associated with the unintended presence due to cross-contamination. In conclusion, the importance of food safety can never be underestimated because if it is ignored, customers could become seriously ill with food poisoning and foodborne illness. As food handlers, we must ensure our food will not cause harm to the consumers when prepared for food. Thank you. My question, what is HACCP? A. Health Association Critical Control Prevention. B. Hazard Association Control Critical Center Point. C. Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point. D. Hazard Analysis Critical Control Process. Only children to answer this question. Thank you. Back to you, Auntie Debbie.
Well done. That was fantastic. Somebody has taken my job. I'm no longer the anchor. So from next month, these children are going to be doing my job. I am now in the background now, listening like every one of you. So fastest correct fingers first. Let's get the answers coming in. The kids have done so well. And everybody here, I know you have learned something. So please, if you've learned anything, let's start putting it in the chat. If you've learned something new, you can put it up in the chat.
Finally, introducing our very own Emanuela Kimolayon from the Trinity School. She will be talking about the Sustainable Development Goals, LiHSEIF Call to Action. Let's listen to this, our beautiful young LiHSEIF ambassador.
I'm from the Trinity School. Have you heard about the word SDG 2030? When and where did you hear about the SDGs? Can you participate in the SDGs 2030 campaign? Please be relaxed as I take you through this brief journey of the SDG 2030 from the Nigerian perspective. SDG means Sustainable Development Goals 2030. What are the Sustainable Development Goals? The Sustainable Development Goals, also known as the Global Goals, were adopted by all 193 member states of the United Nations, of which Nigeria is a member, in 2015 as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that by 2030 all people enjoy peace and prosperity. 17 global goals to be achieved by 2030 are no poverty, no hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions, and partnership for the goal. How can you be part of this campaign? Stay tuned as the LiHSEIF and follow members of the LiHSEIF Safety School Club. We will be making presentations on each of these 17 goals in the next episodes of the LiHSEIF Call to Action on SDGs, the Nigeria Perspective.